Today alone, we had 4 separate violent assaults that took place in the New York City transit system. A supervisor in transit was punched in the face by an unruly passenger at Times Square on the number 1 train platform. There was, in addition, a slashing. A customer was slashed at Times Square on the number 1 line. This is all today so far. There was also a stabbing at Pennsylvania Avenue. A customer was stabbed on the number 3 train at Pennsylvania Avenue. And in Queens, on 75th Avenue, a customer was hit in the face with a skateboard on the F train platform at 75th Avenue. Going back just a few days, we're seeing this every single day. Yesterday was Tuesday. We had a number of customers in a single incident that were assaulted and robbed of their cell phones on an A train at Beach 60th Street. The day before, Monday, one of our members, conductor Kevin Rivera, was menaced, spat upon, and chased down by a blade-wielding maniac at the Willets Point station. Conductor Rivera had to take safe cover in a station booth. Thankfully, there was a station agent there. It was staffed, and the conductor was able to get inside and protect himself. So, clearly there's a disturbing trend of violence happening in the subway system, and we have been calling on New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio to get his city under control. It's like the Wild West out here, and it's got to stop. I don't know what more needs to happen for the city of New York to take action. This is what our riders want. This is what our workers want. And it's not often that the TWU happens to agree with the MTA. The MTA is saying they need to do something about this. So I do have a bit of positive news in all the chaos that's happened over the last few days. Thanks to our advocacy, the TWU, the NYPD Transit Bureau has upgraded the case involving conductor Rivera, the one who was chased with a knife and spat upon, from a violation to misdemeanor menacing. So the way it works is that unless police officers witness a violation, they have to actually see it, they can't do anything. But as a misdemeanor, they can investigate, identify the individual in the video, and make an arrest. We're confident that it's only a matter of time before that individual is arrested, and rightfully so. In case you haven't seen, there is a video that was put out. I believe the Post covered it, where you see this guy, who's really lost it and is terrorizing our members, our hardworking transit employees in the station booth there at Willets Point. Related to that, the union has legislation that would make spitting on a transit worker a misdemeanor. And that would allow cops, again, to investigate and arrest based on the statement of the victim. As I said, when it's only a violation, they have to see it. And that doesn't help us, because many times they don't see it. So that is legislation that has been introduced in Albany. The charge would be upgraded to aggravated harassment. Letice Walker has introduced in the Assembly, and we're calling on the Assembly to pass this bill. So, we're hopeful. We have an alliance of the district attorneys for each borough and other lawmakers who are, pushing the state legislature to pass this bill to give us an added layer of protection. But what we really need right now, this is something that the mayor can do today, is we need additional law enforcement presence in the subway. We need more police. We need better deployment of the police. We need the police to be stationed on the trains, walking from car to car. We need them on the platforms, visible to the conductor and to the riding public. But it's not this is a problem that can't just be policed away. We also need social services. We need mental health services. We need more outreach. A lot of these folks who commit these crimes are suffering from mental illness or disabilities. They're not getting help, so they're roaming the streets and roaming the subway. We have homeless individuals that deserve a place to live, but they feel the shelter system isn't safe for them, so they're setting up camp underground on a train, and that's no place for anybody to live. So we have an increasingly volatile population in New York, no doubt worsened by the fallout from the pandemic, and they're not being taken care of. They're not being taken care of. There's not enough police where we need them, and we're seeing the results of that. The results of that are our members, transit workers being assaulted and attacked on a near daily basis, and our riders being victimized, being attacked violently in the subway. So these are the things that we're calling upon. We do understand that the latest class of NYPD recruits is going to be sent to the subway as their first assignment. I believe the number is less than 100. That's a good start, but it's not nearly enough. We need a significantly enhanced law enforcement presence, proper deployment, along with, as we've stated, social services, the mental health care, and all the other things to address the root problems here. And I don't understand why the mayor doesn't take this problem seriously. And to make matters worse, he has basically laughed at all of us. You know, he goes out for a subway ride, maybe once or twice a year, with his heavily armed security. He goes for 2 stops, and he says, "Oh, I found a person who feels it's safe, see, it's safe," ignoring the reality all around us every single day. So I wanted to restate that message. I wanted to let everybody know that in Mr. Rivera's case, the charge is going to be upgraded to a misdemeanor. The police are on it. They're going to be looking for this guy, and they're going to be trying to bring him to justice. Because at first, they told us they couldn't do anything, and that was very disappointing. Our member, Mr. Rivera, was not happy about that. But now that we know they're doing the right thing, they're upgrading the charge, they can put more resources and actually try to bring this person to justice. So that's all I have to say at this time. If anybody has any questions, please feel free.
Can you talk more about, you mentioned, there, let's see, you mentioned the deployment being an issue. Can you talk more about where you're seeing the cops that are there, what they're doing?
So, I mean, unfortunately, what we see, and I see it almost every day at 86th Street when I get on the train, is I do see police officers there, but I see them stationed by the turnstile. I walk through the turnstiles are well guarded, but when we get down onto the train platform and on the train itself, we're not seeing the cops. Occasionally, when we do see them on the train, you know, we might see 2, 3, or 4 of them in a single car. I think it would be better as a worker and as a rider of the system for them to actually be patrolling the full train, 8 or 10 cars, okay, making it clear that there's a security presence on this train, and hopefully serving as a deterrent effect, so people aren't getting stabbed or slashed or robbed during their commute.
In terms of Mr. Rivera's case, was someone arrested in relation to that?
No, in the case of Conductor Ken Rivera, we have very clear video of the suspect who was taunting him and cursing at him and making threats that he's in fear right now. But initially the police said, you know, this is a violation, you can't pursue it because we didn't see it. But they are willing to charge this suspect with a misdemeanor crime now, and therefore, you know, they're on the lookout. They're trying to track this person down so they can make an arrest.